Football pundit Jamie Carragher recently made a statement.
Carragher was discussing Liverpool player Mohamed Salah's chances of winning the Ballon d'Or on Sky Sports and insinuated that playing in AFCON counted against him winning the award.
The fact that he's probably with Egypt and he's probably not playing in the major tournament as such, or maybe got a great chance of winning, I think it's either the Champions League or the major tournament, normally the player who excels in that.
Just say AFCON is a major tournament because a lot of people are a bit saying people not taking that. Say, AFCON is a major tournament, just so you don't...
No, Egypt haven't gone to the World Cup, are they?
No, but AFCON is big, wasn't it? Remember when him and Mane was going for it? And I'm just saying, AFCON...
It's a fact. It's a fact. If you're in the Euros or you're in the Copa America, it's deemed to be big, so the AFCON's in the same level.
AFCON represents the continent of Africa with a population of over 1.5 billion. The Euros represents the continent of Europe with a population of over 744 million. The last African Cup of Nations generated close to 2 billion views, a lot more than the Euros, a lot more than the American Super Bowl. That's remarkable. So, Jamie Carragher, how major can the AFCON get with such explosive numbers?
The biggest number you have here is 4 billion, which is projected to be the population of Africa at the end of this century, and that's basically going to be half the planet. Half the planet will be African.
The African Cup of Nations is rich in history. These are the hallmarks of a major tournament. In just a moment, I'm about to make a statement that will shock you. The Euros, in which Jamie Carragher considers to be a major tournament over AFCON, started in 1960. This is 3 years way after AFCON had started.
The very first CAN was organized to mark the Confederation of African Football's, the CAF, official launch in Khartoum in Sudan in 1957, making Africa's continental prize 3 years older than its European equivalent. 1957 was a special year, the year when the first sub-Saharan African state was able to declare its independence from the old colonial power.
Africa put together the concept of continental football way before Europe started it. So Jamie Carragher, please let that sink in. Global football stars perform in AFCON. Players from all over major leagues in the world and in Europe.
It's a continent of huge power, a continent that contributes to European football through players immensely, massively. Like the amount of players that are representing football clubs in Europe and winning things from the African continent is like...
AFCON have actually produced a Ballon d'Or winner. So sorry Jamie Carragher, if you have a football tournament with global stars playing in it, and particularly one that has actually produced a Ballon d'Or winner, I don't know what more a tournament can do to be major. I think Jamie might just need to eat humble pie and apologize and just admit to his inaccuracy. I think it's very important to break down bias and stereotype in football because there's a danger that statements like this can be condescending and can make people have opinions that are not healthy for football as a whole.
That comment is representative of the majority of people out there. Would say that. I don't think that's right. I think that's ignorant.
The whole idea of Premiership clubs frowning when players want to participate in their continental competition is very wrong on all levels. You cannot compel African football, for example, to have to fit in its competition with Europe.
Is there ever a tournament more disrespected than the African Cup of Nations? There's no greater honour, none, as a sports person, than representing your country. Players getting asked if they will be honouring the call-ups for their national teams, if they will be honouring. Imagine if that was an English player representing the Three Lions. Have you ever heard anybody asking an English player if will he be honouring the call-up? Can you imagine the furore?
There is a reason why diversity is important in football. It's about us understanding that we all have different nuances, we all have different cultures, we all have different things that makes us tick. And coming together as one is what makes football the better. It's what makes football a beautiful game, as it is called. The weather is hot in Africa. So how do you expect Africa to then fit in its calendar, its competition at one of the hottest period of its climate? It makes sense for Africa to play its football early in the year, because the temperature is cooler and is more conducive. So we're even thinking of health factors here. It does not have to fit into anybody's calendar, because Africa is unique. Africa will have to fit into its own calendar. It's important to respect the tournament, its values and what it stands for.
So it should be respected more than it is.
Just like every other tournament in the world is respected. AFCON have all what it takes to be a major tournament. AFCON have professional footballers. Africa is a participating member of FIFA Association. AFCON have global appeal. You just have to look at the recent number of people watching AFCON and the number of people it represents from a continental level. And AFCON have significant relevance to a core audience of people. I must give kudos to the BBC, for example. It's important to have different representation on panels of football. If Michael Richards or Daniel Sturridge hadn't been on that panel, Jamie Carragher would probably have gotten away with a statement like that. And statements like that forms negative opinion. My submission right now is that AFCON is not a second-rate tournament. AFCON, like many other tournaments, is a major tournament. Please follow me and please give me a like. See you in the next video.